Good evening, everybody. Oh, we can do better than that. Good evening, everybody. All righty. My name is Sriram Sundarajan. I'm a professor of mechanical engineering, and I have the privilege of serving as Associate Dean for Academic Affairs in the College of Engineering. So on behalf of our faculty and staff, I'd like to welcome all of you to this evening of celebration as we celebrate the success of our graduate students who are earning their PhD, Master's, and Master of Engineering degrees here at Iowa State. So please join me in congratulating them. A warm welcome to all family and friends who have traveled a great deal of distance, perhaps, to come and be here to enjoy the celebration. A special welcome to those of us who are joining via our live stream from various parts across the world. So courtesy for our ELO staff, thank you. So welcome. So we have a tight window. So 6 o'clock, the preparations for the commencement starts for our students. So we'd like to make sure that we're done on time. And so what we'd like to do is we will be inviting the students up here on stage one by one as per their major. So when I call it the major, if the students from that particular department or degree program could start lining up on this side, we will then call them up one by one. And I think in the email that all of you received, which is probably or hopefully the last assignment you get here from Iowa State, which is you have a minute to do two things. Explain to the audience what you have been working on for your research or for a project, if you were not involved in a thesis-based degree, so that everybody can get an appreciation for the impact that you've done through your work. And the second would be to share what would be a nice memory that you have of your time here at Iowa State, right? And so being engineering, we work with constraints. So the constraint is you have 1 minute, right? And so typically in this kind of programming, I serve as the taskmaster. And so as you approach the minute, I will start putting pressure on you to get done, right? And the only reason for that being that we would like to get done on time again, right? So we do have this semester about 200 students in the College of Engineering receiving their graduate degrees, 72 PhD, 89 Master of Science, and about 39 Master of Engineering students graduating. We have about 40 students who are joining us for the reception today. And so without further ado, as I call the program name, I will also call the faculty member from that particular department who will have the privilege of announcing the students. So we will start with aerospace engineering. The students with aerospace engineering who are here, if you could line up. And I'd like to invite Professor Steve Holland to the stage. And for the students, you will come, you will give your talk. And Dean Rayala will then present you with a small token, and you will set you off. And hopefully you'll use that token in your next journey. All right? Steve. So, name, major professor. Okay.
Thank you, everybody. I would like to first introduce Muhammad Arshad. Major Aerospace Engineering, Major Professor Wei Hu. Congratulations.
Good afternoon, everyone. My degree was all coursework, and I want to start by thanking God Almighty, my parents, my family, and friends, especially all my teachers. Without their efforts, I wouldn't be standing where I am, especially some were a drag. Some lifted my spirits, some weighed down on me, and some provided thrust. I also want to take a moment and thank Iowa State University's online education program without compromising the integrity of the courses. So the professional engineers like me could take these courses and degrees while keeping our jobs. And my most memorable moment will be in an hour when I receive my third master's. Thank you.
Okay, our second and final graduate, Jared Taylor, also an aerospace engineering major, Major Professor Leonard Bond and Thomas Chow. Taylor?
Hello, everybody. My work was in discriminating corn kernels using a terahertz scanner, which is kind of like an X-ray machine, except much lower frequencies. And then taking that data and using machine learning techniques to do the discrimination. And memories of Iowa State. My family's in the back, and we got. My wife and I got married in my undergrad here, and we have 2 kids she's holding on to back there. So that's by far the best part of all this. So thank you.
Next, we have Professor Eric Cochran for Chemical and Biological Engineering. So if the Chemical and Biological Engineering students would please line up. Don't read that name. Major professor.
Okay, first we have Anurag Bhattapalli, a major professor, Caitlin Braitley.
Good evening, everyone. So a little bit about my research. I worked on modifying tunable alginate hydrogels for being able to study chronic wounds, basically preparing different kinds of tissue engineering platforms so that we could make wound care more effective and more efficient, especially for those suffering from diabetes-related foot wounds in different parts of the world. One momentous occasion during the PhD that I conducted here at Iowa State was winning the People's Choice Award in the 3-minute thesis competition last year. So it was pithily titled Cells, Gels, and Lasers for Better Healthcare, and I really hope I can do well on those goals that I set during that talk. Thank you so much.
Okay, and next we have Radhika Rao, major professor Jean-Philippe Tessonnier.
Thank you for the introduction. And my research here at Iowa State focused on replacing the products that we obtain from petroleum-based resources with plant-based or bio-based materials. And the specific goal of my work was to develop novel catalysts for the production of biorenewable chemicals, which are environmentally friendly. And one of the best memories at Iowa State was the day when we published my first author paper in Nature Communications, which is one of the most prestigious journals in our field. And it was a very proud moment for our group, as well as for everyone in my family and my friend circle who supported me through this journey. So thank you.
All right, and finally we have Sean Gasson, who's done a Master's of Engineering, also with Jean-Philippe Tessonnier.
Hello, a little bit about my research. I researched high performance catalysts to be used in fuel cells to replace internal combustion engines in cars and help provide a more renewable future in the automotive industry. And one of my favorite things here at Iowa State was meeting all the different people from all around the world and making connections with all of them. So, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cochran. I'm out of a job here. Everything's going pretty efficiently, so that's good. So next, if I could ask the graduates of the Civil Construction and Environmental Engineering program to please start lining up here, and I'd like to invite Dr. Seiki Yong to come and announce the graduates. So it's only the yellow ones who are here. Okay. Just the name and the major professor and the degree.
The first student graduating will be a PhD student. His name is Dong Huang, and his major professor is Bora Chetin and James Alleman.
Good evening, everyone. My research focus on biocementation. We create cement from the enzyme extract from bacteria, and this is a very special week for my family. Both my wife and I received a PhD tonight, and the early of this week we have a new baby. Her name is Alex, and my wife is not here because she is watching my new baby. However, it's very lucky week for us, and we are very happy. Thank you.
The next person is Philip Kalmogo. He's finishing with his PhD, and his major advisors are Sri Shiritaran and Jeremy Ashlock.
I would let Dr. Sri know how you butchered his name.
Everybody feel free to adjust the mics too, so you can close.
So my research involved using reliability theory to improve design efficiency of drill shaft for the state of Iowa. So by using a database of load tests, I was able to develop resistance factors that are more efficient than what the actual code recommends. And I think this will be my greatest memory from Iowa State, being in front of everyone here, especially my family who came from long way to attend the ceremony. Yeah, thank you.
The next person is Hao Wu. He's finishing up with his PhD, and his major advisor is An Chen.
Good evening, everyone. At Iowa State, I'm really fortunate to work with Dr. An Chen and Dr. Samuel Thum on the novel structural wall. The wall has multifunctions, can help improve building energy efficiency, and also can help resist wind and earthquake hazard. And my most favorite memory at Iowa State is working as our teaching assistant. I really enjoy interacting with other students, especially from multi-cultures, and found teaching is very both demanding and rewarding job. And it's also making me realize how excellent our faculty at Iowa State is. Thank you.
Next is Bo Yang. Bo Yang is finishing up with a PhD also, and his major advisor is Halil Salen.
Thank you, everyone, giving me a chance to stand at this stage and to thank for my major professors and my committee members and our research team members. They help me a lot and support me. That's why I stand on this stage. My research area focuses on the concrete grinding ratio management and also involved in some use bio-based fog sealant for the airwall pavement preservation. And all of this can contribute to the sustainable pavement system. I also would like to thank for my families, but at this moment they are not here, and especially for my just newborn baby. He's just 3 months old, and I'm so glad to see him in this September. And I also would like to thank for my brothers, but he's not here right now, and he's on his way. And also, I want to thank for my wife, because when the baby born, and I focused on my research, and she's responsible for the taking care of the baby, especially during the night time. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. This way. Go ahead. Next, we have Jonathan Harris. He's finishing up his master's degree. He has done this degree online or a distance education. So, Jonathan.
Thank you. Yes, as mentioned, my name is Jonathan Harris, and I conducted my research on the effects felt by construction contractors when conforming to contractual cash flow constraints. So the research focused on ways in which contractors have to adjust their payment procedures and applications during construction when conforming to minimized cash flow from project owners. So a few words I'd like to say regarding my thanks for the opportunity to be in the program here. I would first like to thank my major professor, Dr. Jennifer Shane, and my committee members, Dr. Ikuma and Dr. Polakovsky, for their support throughout the course of my studies and throughout this research. In addition, I would also like to thank my wife, Sarah May, whose love and support continues to help me pursue and achieve my educational and professional goals. Finally, I would like to thank the department, faculty, and staff for making my time at Iowa State University an enlightening experience. In particular, regarding my research endeavor, I would like to make sure that my mother and my brother understand that that was dedicated to them. They both represent a true trailblazing mentality when it comes to the pursuit of higher education in our family. You have served as role models and motivators for achievement, not only within the confines of an educational framework, but in a broader sense by demonstrating the realization of success. It has never been clear that the true measure of success is not represented by our outward achievements in education and employment, but by our ability to satisfy from within, lead by example, and provide solid foundations for our families. So thank you.
We have next is Yuan Chen, finishing up his PhD.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank for my major professor and also the committee member and my family. And my research is talking about the evaluation of the performance of concrete overlay. And for my main goal for this research, we would like to paving the smooth road inside the Iowa, so make everyone feel comfortable. And my special memory is that this is 4 years ago. It's my first time to saw the snow in here, and everywhere is white. It's really pretty. I like here. So, and also I met my wife in here, so and we married in here. So I really like the Iowa State. Thank you.
Seiki. Next, if the graduates of the Electrical and Computer Engineering Department could start lining up on this side, and I'd like to invite Dr. Ahmed Kamal to come and introduce the graduates. So just a reminder, please be as close to the mic when you make your speeches, so that everybody has the benefit of hearing what you have to say. Right? That's a slight addendum to your assignment. Right? Just a reminder, if as a student you checked in after the event started, so we will try to read out your names at the very end. So because your name would not be on this list, right? So we will call out the names of the people who checked in after the event started at the end. So please bear with us and appreciate your patience, right? So the ones who have checked in are highlighted on your list.
All right, so our first graduate is Abdullah Al-Masoud. He's graduating with a PhD in computer engineering and a co-major in electrical engineering.
Hello. My research is about optimizing the performance of wireless networks and minimizing the energy consumption. And I focus mainly on wireless energy harvesting and UAV communications. A good moment I had last month when I received a conference Best Paper Award. Thank you.
Gul Nihal Kuchiksaya G. Gill. She is graduating with a PhD in electrical engineering.
Hello, everybody. First, I want to congratulate all the students here and their families for their support. Life is really short, and we all PhD students dedicated our precious 4 to 6 years to take a degree. I hope our efforts will get in return as a bright future. While my studies was always exhausting for me, my only happiness was having my son. My second happiness is now having my PhD degree, where I was able to produce a general framework to obtain stabilizing network distributed controllers for network systems under the supervision of Dr. Nicola Elia. I wish you all happy and successful future, and thanks for listening.
Next, we have Piyush Lakhawat. He's getting a PhD in computer engineering.
Hello everyone, I'm Piyush. I worked in the areas of unsupervised machine learning and pattern mining, which is essentially finding out different ways of identifying hidden structures as well as repeating patterns in the data. But as far as favorite moments goes, it's hard for me to pick one, but then I really want to say that I just evolved more as a person, as a researcher, as in everything here at Iowa State, and I think that's what I cherish most. And then for that, I think I have to thank my advisor, Dr. Arun K. Somani, the most, and then all my friends and family here in Ames and in India. So thank you, and congratulations to all the graduates.
Pratik Mishra, getting a PhD in computer engineering.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank all of you to be here. And my research was in designing, redesigning, and developing storage solutions for complex big data workloads. It's easier than said. So, secondly, I would like to thank everyone, my family, friends, everyone at Iowa State. Iowa State is of two types of people, very good people and extremely good people. So I would like to thank each and every element at Iowa State, which made the journey to be very comfortable. And of course, my advisor, Dr. Arun Somani, thank you for your patience. I know it took a lot. So in the end, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Muhammad Salim, getting a PhD in computer engineering.
Good evening, everyone. So first of all, I want to thank my First of all, I want to thank my parents for their endless love and support for my entire life and their prayers until I reached my dream. Second, I have to thank my wife who supported me all over my PhD and before that even. And she actually had a lot of bad days because I wasn't there at lab for 2 a.m. or something when I have a submission for a paper. But actually, I want to thank her very much for all that support. Also, I want to thank my advisor, Professor Ahmed Kamel, because actually without his support, I would never be here and I would never get my PhD. So thank you very much. So my research, actually, I was working on cellular networks, so mainly your mobile phones. I was actually making sure that the base stations or the towers, which is sending the signals to your mobile phones, is working properly. And if there is any failure in these towers, I'm trying to mitigate these failures without you guys not affecting any of your mobiles. So after that, actually, I worked on disaster areas and trying to supply the cellular service in the disaster areas. And we actually use drones for supporting or giving the signal because actually the network is not working. I have to stop now, but I will keep my best moment for myself. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Nicole Dugan, getting a master's in information assurance.
So the research that I did was to create a security awareness training. So in particular, I did an escape room to help teach people how hackers do what they do so that they can learn how to defend themselves from hackers. And that's just a different way for people to kind of learn about security awareness. My most memorable time here at Iowa State has been grading my little legacy, William, and I had to take a semester off so I could give birth to him and have him. Thank you.
Chang Song, getting a Master's of Engineering in Computer Engineering.
Hello, everyone. At the beginning, thanks for electrical and computer department allow me to transfer from WE to Computer E. And second, thanks for J. Kim and Dr. Guan give me experience of doing research. And thanks Vicky for the guidance. That's all.
Okay, finally we have Ji Hao. You're not here. I'm sorry, what's your name? Oh, you're not in this list. Okay. Kirk Rudolph, right? Getting his master's degree in electrical engineering, correct?
All right, hello everyone. I'd first like to thank my family for all their support throughout my degree. My work, I got a Master of Science with a creative component, and my project was with a professor in the mechanical engineering department working on trying to implement quadcopters into the classroom to help better teach controls. I believe my favorite moments here at Iowa State were going to the basketball and football games with some of my friends and cheering on the Cyclones, so thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kamal. Next, I'd like to invite the graduates from the Industrial and Manufacturing Systems Engineering programs, and I'd like to invite Dr. Gary Merka to introduce the graduates.
Well, first of all, congratulations to all the graduates tonight. Appreciate your accomplishments. The Department of Industrial and Manufacturing Systems Engineering actually has 14 graduates this year, but we have one that was able to come to the event here this evening, and that is Ni-Chen Chen, who is getting his PhD under the direction of Dr. Matt Frank.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I want to talk about my research topic, but before I talk about that, I want to ask, how many of you have searched your advisor's thesis? No? Yeah, some of you. Okay, how many of you have searched your advisor's thesis topic? No? Okay, I did that. And one fact I found is we all share the same goal, that is to eliminate or reduce the effort of creating a physical object from its digital design. So that is my dissertation topic. Although we did different piece of researches, but we all share the same research goal. And I believe I will dedicate all my career to work towards that ultimate goal. And then one memory. So it just happens a couple of hours back when I drove back on I-35 when I arrived the exit 111B. And that moment I realized this time I'm not going to Ames, I'm going back to Ames. Because all the 5 years I spent here, all the people here is already making me feel like this is my hometown in US. So I would like to thank my advisor and thank to all the faculties in IMSC and also thank to my families, my wife and my daughter here. Without them, I would not have such wonderful experience here in Iowa State. Thank you.
Dr. Murka. Next, I'd like to invite the graduates of the Material Science and Engineering program. And I'd like to invite Dr. Caitlin Braitley to come and introduce the student.
All right, so we have one graduate, but she's a very important graduate. So this is Carol Lind, and her major professor was Ludovico Catamartiri.
Thank you. I would like to thank my parents, first and foremost, for their support, and also my brother, who is also a PhD in material science and engineering, but not from Iowa State. I'd also like to thank Ludovico for his creativity. I worked on a very interesting project that is not really truly material science. I actually studied how to build engineered environments where you can control all the aspects of the environment and specifically look at how plants communicate with microbes or fungus or other plants. And I also worked a lot on developing a paper microfluidic device where you can study how roots sense and develop towards water. As far as my favorite memories, one of my favorite memories is actually calling a junkyard in Ames and asking them if we could cover a small car with a polymer material and then flame treat it and then dump a front loader of water on top of it to demonstrate our super hydrophobic material. Another favorite memory is also through my fellowship, working with the Trinuct Fellowship, funded by the National Science Foundation, where I went once a week for 2 years down to the Des Moines school systems and worked as a resident engineer in the 3rd through 5th grade elementary classes. So.
Thank you, Dr. Braitley. And next, I'd like to invite the graduates of the Mechanical Engineering Department, and I'd like to invite Dr. Pranav Kshatriya to introduce the graduates. It's all the highlighted ones.
Okay, Sagata, I'm just going to announce.
He's there.
Oh, he's there, okay.
So, name of the major professor.
Sure, thanks.
Congratulations to all the graduates. Mechanical Engineering Department graduated 27 students, of which few are here. So our first name is Rihanna Jamshidi.
Hello everyone, my research was on development of materials and methods for fabricating flexible and soft electronics. And about good memories is the moments of all supports that I've got from like the beginning, that I got my visa very late and I was supported by Mechanical Engineering Department and my advisor to make it here, until the final semester and all the help that I got from my advisor, graduate college and committee members to facilitate my graduation. Thank you.
Next, we have Saugata Roy, who's getting a PhD degree. His major professor was Sriram Sundarajan.
Good evening, everybody. So I'm Saugata Roy. I did my work on gear tribology. So basically, we were working on a specific phase in steel, which is called retained austenite, and how this can affect on the gear tooth life. So the application area was on wind turbines as well as agricultural equipments. And regarding the one of the best memory, I was very delighted when I got the email from our research community, which is Society of Tribology and Lubrication Engineers, about getting the early career award in student category. And I was more proud when I was going to forward that email to my advisor, Dr. Sundarajan. Thank you. Yeah.
Next, we have Ayush Sharma. He's getting a PhD degree, and his advisor was Ganesh Balasubramaniam and Dwayne Johnson.
Good evening, everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank the mechanical department as well as Dr. Ganesh and Dr. Johnson My research was utilizing computational material science techniques to design novel materials with very specific target properties, which could be structural, mechanical, or transport properties. Just for an example, we were able to design a material which is super hard, even at an elevated temperature of 1500 Kelvin. Talking about found memories, there are lots of found memories, getting the RA award and walking across our beautiful campus, as well as coming to the lab when it's minus 25 degrees outside. Thank you.
Next, we have Srilok Srinivasan. He's getting a PhD degree. His advisor were Ganesh Balasubramaniam and Shinwei Wang.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank my mom and dad, who has always encouraged me and supported me in whatever I did. And secondly, I'd like to thank Mani Uncle and Amoka, who has been a constant support in the US for me. In my PhD research, I studied how heat dissipates in graphene nanomaterials and how we can modify this heat dissipation properties by changing the nanomaterial geometry. My research has applications in developing energy-efficient electronic devices. There have been a lot of fond memories. It's difficult to pick one at this moment, but I would say I'm very grateful for all the friends and connections I made at Iowa State University. I've met people from different parts of the world, which helped me become a better person and a scientist. So I thank Iowa State University for that, and congrats to other graduates.
Next, we have TJ Beavers. He's getting a master's degree. His advisor was Sarah Bentel.
Hello, everyone. So my research was on designing and building an apparatus to recreate traumatic brain injury level events to a simulated head system. And then for memories, there's a lot, between all the research. But I think the biggest one is probably when my supervisor gave birth to a baby boy. So that kind of changes things and puts everything into perspective. So thank you very much.
Next, we have Ara Dower, who's getting a Master's of Human Computer Interaction degree.
Thank you. Hi, this is definitely my favorite moment being here right now. I dedicate this degree to my mother, who never got to accomplish her college degrees and isn't here to see me right now, but I know that she would be proud of me. Thank you to my husband for your support during this. My project-based research was in reducing cognitive load for clinical end users and how they enter patient data into the electronic health record. And I am, this is especially sweet for me. I'm a high school dropout, and my mother always believed in me, and so I'm very proud to be here right now. So thank you all.
Next, we have John Hudson, who is also getting Masters of Human Computer Interaction. His advisor was Jim Oliver.
Hi, everyone. My name's John Hudson, and so my field of study was in human-computer interaction. I could not have come back to school and finish this degree without the help of my family, who's here with me today, my wife, my 3 boys, as well as my father and some who are watching now. And I want to thank Iowa State for providing an online method for taking these courses. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to do that. And then there are lots of great memories, but one of my favorite was I took a class from Dr. Dornick, who had a reputation for high standards. And our team of 4 was very excited to embark in this design for a task shedding interface for airline pilots. And then a couple weeks into the project, we were a little horrified to find out that Dr. Dornick had published a paper on the very same topic. But I'm grateful to him as well for not letting up on his high standards, because we learned a lot from that experience. Thank you.
Next, we have Eric Rogatz, who's getting a Master's of Engineering degree. His advisor was Abhijit Chandra.
Good evening, everyone. Like you said, I earned my degree through coursework only, distance education. But I can faithfully say that I've used in my career as a structural analyst and fluid mechanics engineer that I've used every piece of coursework that I've done through this process. My love for this university runs pretty deep. I earned my bachelor's degree in aerospace engineering in 2010 from Iowa State. Earning this degree, it took far too long, but I'm here. And I met my wife and I married my wife here as well. And we live in Des Moines, so we get to see this area a lot. So I have a few people to thank. So first of all, I want to thank the Vermeer Corporation. They financed a lot of this education for me. I want to thank the family members that kind of kept pushing me along. It's kind of a long process, so she kept pushing me along through this. But the big thank you goes to my wife. So as a full-time engineer, full-time dad, full-time husband, she pushed me. she picked up the slack when we had our daughter. In 2016, when things in this degree started to get tough, so she picked up the slack from me. While I was working late nights, working late on the weekends, she did that for me. So thank you, and congratulations everyone. Go Cyclones.
Next, we have Chen Hao Wu. He's getting a PhD degree, and his advisor Ming Cheng Shu.
So thank you everyone. So I made a very important decision last summer. That was very important, but it's worth it. So I changed my PhD topic from studying wind turbine to studying hot valve. So basically, my research topic is about to develop the first computational framework to study transcatheter hot valve, and the purpose is to predict the performance of transcatheter hot valve before surgery. And I hope that can help the society very much. Thank you.
Dr. Kshatriya. Are there any graduates here that we have missed? Right? Well, please join me in congratulating all our graduates. And graduates, please join me in thanking all your support systems that are here and who might be joining us. And at this time, I'd like to invite Dean Rayala to come and say a few words and close the session and kind of direct you where to go next.
Thank you, Sriram. And congratulations, graduates, families. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything that you do for the graduates. I know no matter what your journey was or how long it took, this is an important moment for everybody. I know from my own family, my husband started to work on his PhD a number of years after we were married. We had 2 children. He was working full-time, doing it at a distance. It took him 9 years to get from that very first course he took through to graduation. Today he teaches here at Iowa State. It is difficult. I know it's difficult, and when you have family obligations. So thank you to all the support systems. I know firsthand how important that is, and it's important to each of the graduates here. It's a special night. We greatly appreciate all of those who have traveled from far distances. It's always a pleasure as the Dean of the College of Engineering for me to come to these graduation ceremonies, and it always feels like coming to the UN. We have students and graduates from all over the world. We love the fact that we can welcome everybody here to Iowa State and help each of you on those journeys. So thank you for being here. For those of you who are watching us at a distance, we greatly appreciate you participating, even if you couldn't physically be here in Ames, Iowa. It's unusual that at a December graduation we have such a beautiful evening. It is mild temperature for Ames, and we're very grateful it isn't that minus 25 degrees tonight. So I wish you the best in your journey going forward. I will be in the graduation ceremony with all of you over in Hilton Coliseum. So before giving you the instructions, graduates, on where you need to go, I would like to say a few thank yous. These events don't happen without the support of a lot of different people. I would like to thank Heather Shupik, Roxana Wachuku, Joel Johnson, Danielle Foley for all their assistance in putting the event together, my colleague Sriram Sundararajan, our Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, and also very importantly, because they're always here with us, our staff from our engineering LAS online organization, ELO as we know it, Paul Jewell and Max Donaldson. So join me in thank you to all of these individuals. Graduates, PhD students, you are going to go down one floor to the Benton Auditorium, and that's your gathering point to get ready for the ceremony. Master's students, you are going to go to the north side of Hilton Coliseum, so that's this side of the Coliseum, in the causeway there, you will gather. Parents, family, friends, you can go and find seats in Hilton Coliseum. And I think you have a few minutes to get to places. Ceremony starts at 7 p.m. this evening. Once again, join me in congratulating the graduates. And thank you all for joining us. Safe travels home and the best wishes for the holiday season and into the new year. Thank you.